one of these might be okay, and one of these might suck. What's up, y'all? It is the Vulgar One giving you and your crew some things to talk about in your living room. And today, I wanted to talk about either the West invading anime or the anime invading the West. Got some new updates for new westernized animes coming to you, and a company merging with a notable manga company for some future works here. But before I go into these articles and little bits of videos, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit that subscribe. Would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So if you haven't heard, in these Western anime streets, Saint Seiya, the Knights of the Zodiac's getting a live-action Western film release in 2023, and Disney has partnered up with Kondansha and one of the artists, or the artist for Promise Neverland, and they're making their own original live-action, half-hybrid anime contraption over on Disney Plus. So it's kind of an interesting time for the anime world, because you're seeing, like I said, the West either invading it or them invading the West in more ways than we would normally think. And if you're anything like me, you're skeptical at the very least of these mergers, because admittedly, we already know Dragon Ball Evolution, shitty ass stuff, right? But there has been things in more recent times, Battle Angel Alita. So, you know, there's hope and there's fear all wrapped into one package. So I'm gonna go over both of them, and let's start off with this Saint Seiya, because admittedly, this is one that actually looks good. So it's like a 30-second trailer here, but what they're kind of capturing, at least in my opinion, why I think this looks kind of good, is the action. I mean, it's kind of balls to the wall and very powerful. I'm not a huge fan of the series. I don't know much besides some, reading of it on a wiki, and I did watch a little bit of the Netflix show, and honestly, it's not too bad. I think the concept's kind of cool. I do like the armor, and some of the fights aren't too bad, but nothing that I'm very greatly attached to. So, if you're a huge Saint Seiya fan and you're like, God, no, they shouldn't be doing this, let me know in the comments. So I got the story here from Anime's News Network, and looks like this cat named Makaru Atara is going to be playing Seiya. Never heard of him. He kind of looks like a boy band guy, but I guess he's been in Pacific Rim Uprising and Rurouni Kenshin, the final. Notably, Sean Bean and Fabka Jensen are going to be also in this movie, and some other people that I don't know who they are at all, so I'm just going to skip them. But the synopsis from The Hollywood Reporter also describes, in what is labeled as an origin story, Makaru is starring as Seiya, a street orphan and the title hero of the franchise. When a mystical energy known as Cosmos awakens in him, Seiya embarks on a journey to conquer the ancient Greek armor of Pegasus and chooses his side in a preternatural battle for the fate of Sienna, a young girl who struggles to control her godly powers. Bean plays a mentor named Almond Kiddo, a man who recruits Seiya into the Knight Order, which he founded when he discovered the reincarnated goddess. Tinko is a man hired to kill the vulnerable goddess. So, like I said, I only know a little bit of the Saint Seiya's Knights of the Zodiac story, and this does seem kind of for the par. At least I know for that Netflix one, I think this is kind of similar to it in vein. Again, I think it looked actually pretty cool. I think the imagery was pretty solid. I have no complaints there. I guess complaints only would be the skepticism of the past, and I think, unfortunately, you can't turn those radars off. But overall, I'm actually kind of excited for this one. This actually could turn me into a bigger Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac fan, because it did look pretty cool. Again, this is, I think, in my opinion, when you do westernize the cast, is, I mean, not to be a dick, or you know what I mean, like, but if everybody's not Asian, it's not a loss. I think, to draw audiences in, you can have some American notable faces, people you recognize, and I think it'd be all right. There's nothing wrong with the cultural diversity in certain regards. But moving on to Disney. So Disney and Kondansha announced a long-term anime partnership, right? They're putting in some work here. The VP of Disney's original content strategy is saying we are thrilled to deepen our strategic collaboration with our longstanding partner, Kondansha, on such exciting genre. Japanese anime fills the white space in our content development plans, and we believe this as an expanded collaboration will be a game changer in Disney's future animation strategy in Japan. We look forward to bringing the anime titles and prize IPs by Kodansha to the world stage. And so that includes some things that they're going to be, kind of having exclusive rights on here. So the article mentions that they'll, get the exclusive rights to Tokyo Revengers Season 2, which exclusively on Disney Plus. So, that's kind of cool, I guess, more of their world domination takeover-ish. You know what it is, right? If you're down with that. Admittedly, this I respect a little bit more. They're producing some hybrid live-action anime fantasy dragon original content on Disney Plus. Anime News Network's got the story for this, and it looks like the live-action are Tokyo Ghoul, Kentaro, Higawara, and the Promised Neverland's artist is also part of the collaboration. That's kind of exciting, but it says here the article, Disney announced a hybrid live action anime fantasy adventure Wonder Hatch, Sorotubo Ryu no Shima, Dragons of Wonder Hatch, or literally Wonder Hatch, the Island of Flying Dragons. Lots of titles here. Live action segments depicts the real world, while the anime segments depict another world where dragons live. Disney Plus will stream the anime in winter 2023. It says the main leads are Nagi, a high school girl in the real world, and Time, a boy who lives in another world where dragon riders hear the cries of dragons and communication with them. Film actress Sina Nakajima plays Nagi, and film actor Daikin, I'm going to butcher that last name, so I'm going to keep moving on, plays Time. And Yoshito Emmanuel plays Nagi's friend's son. And Makaru Atara plays the dragon rider Akuta. And he was in the Saint Seiya one, so it looks like Homeboy's making some moves as well. And admittedly, again, this gets my respect for being original content, right? So Disney's doing its own thing, coming up with its own story, and I can respect that. I don't know if it will be my cup of tea because it is kind of Disney, so it probably will be targeted at a younger audience. And that being said, doesn't mean like kid shows and kid movies can't be pretty cool. And I mean, fuck, there's dragons in it. Who dislikes some dragons? Really, let's be real. I think there's a chance when done right, when you're merging Western entertainment with anime and Japanese entertainment, there can be ways to make it good. And looking at these behind the scene images that's going on here, it does look like they have, a very Japanese crew and storytellers, obviously, on this. So I feel like it will feel like anime, right? That's something that's kind of important when it comes to these collaborations is, does it still have the feel, or is it just going to be the shell of anime, right? There are certain storytelling devices, like simply put, Japanese anime is in the 4-part act while Western entertainment is in the 3-part act. Those are certain things that, you wonder if these companies and corporations can capture. Same thing with the Saint Seiya. This is an anime and a manga. These are big stories, and can you capture a lot of what needs to be captured in just a 2-hour, at the most, maybe 3-hour film, right? There's a lot of, it's a juggling act, right? And, with this, hybrid one, at least with Disney, I do wonder and worry that, Disney might want to push their bullshit narratives, because I couldn't help but notice, and not like it's a bad thing, I actually thought it was cool, like there's potentially a black kid or a half Japanese, half black kid in there, and again, to me, diversity and all that stuff, I'm black. It's not a big deal. I actually enjoy it and respect it. However, I don't like people being used as props. I don't want people to be used in Disney's push to, let's show how, woke we are. When, like, I admit, like, we live in a more diverse world, especially if you're in a first world country like Japan and America. Obviously, you're going to see other colors of people, even in the more homogenous countries. It's not so out of the norm, at the very least, to turn on the TV and see something a little bit different, right? Especially if you're watching foreign movies for whatever country you're in. So, I don't think it's a bad thing. Never get it twisted. But I do hate what Disney does, and a lot of these American Western companies use. They use minorities and other people as, brownie points to, try to get more money, and then the content's usually bullshit, a la Black Panther. So hopefully it's actually kind of good. I might even give it a chance. I don't have Disney Plus, but I got homies, and I can check it out because it did look kind of interesting, and again, original content gets a pass in my book because you can do whatever the fuck you want in your own story, but Disney's problem is they've been fucking up people's IP for like the last 10 fucking years right now. So, I mean, between the two, which one are you more excited for? Are you excited for either of them? Are you worried about the Western takeover again or these Western collaborations? What's your thoughts? What's your opinions? Let me know in the comments. I'm pretty curious because, admittedly, these don't look that bad. I think the warning signs in your mind go off because of everything as they have been lately. But they look kind of cool. They look kind of pretty. And granted, I said the same thing with Obi-Wan. Looks can be deceiving. But let me know what your thoughts are. You know what it is. Vulgar One, Vulgar Desperado, Jabber Jaws. Peace.